Hello everybody, good afternoon. Right now, my group is going to talk about what is plagiarism. My group is conformed by Carlos Oruño, Roger Mayorga, and my person, Cesar Leon. So we can start now. So, when students are required to develop works, such as essays or letters, they have to know techniques that can be applied on the paper. This is in order to avoid making mistakes that can lead to consequences such as plagiarism. Paraphrasing is a technique that consists in reading a passage and recreating a paragraph with the same idea from the passage. So, this is a very useful tool to avoid committing plagiarism. We got to know what is plagiarism and what are the consequences if we commit it. Plagiarism can be defined as a practice of taking someone else's word or idea and passing them off, and you say it's your own idea. I can say that this is not okay, it's not a good practice, so we have to be careful when we do our works and we need to avoid committing some plagiarism. Right now, my friend Carlos Turuño is going to talk about ideas and how to avoid committing a plagiarism.
As my partner said, I'm going to talk about some simple examples that you can avoid plagiarism. Because it's easy to find information for most research papers, but it's not always easy to add that information into your paper without falling into the plagiarism trap. There are easy ways to avoid plagiarism. Follow some simple steps while writing your research paper to ensure that your document will be free of plagiarism. I'm going to give you 6 ways to avoid plagiarism. First one is to paraphrase. So, you have found information that is perfect for your research paper. Read it and put it into your own words. Make sure that you do not copy verbatim. Second is citing. Citing is one of the effective ways to avoid plagiarism. Follow the document formatting guidelines, for example in our case is APA, but use the one that your school requires. Third one is quoting. When quoting a source, use the quote exactly the way it appears. No one wants to be misquoted. Quoting must be done correctly to avoid plagiarism allegations. Then is citing quotes. Citing a quote can be different than citing paraphrase material. This practice usually involves the addition of page number or paragraph number in the case of our content. Fifth, citing your own material. If some of the material you're using for your research paper was used by you in your current class, a previous one, or anywhere else, you must cite yourself. And the last one is referencing. One of the most important ways to avoid plagiarism is include reference or page of work cited at the end of your research paper. I invite you to avoid plagiarism because in that way your papers will be correctly for the investigation. And now my partner Roger is going to talk about consequences of committing plagiarism, and he's going to give the conclusion. Thanks.
As my partner say, I'm going to talk about the consequences of plagiarism. If you doubt of the severity of consequences of plagiarism, consider this. Plagiarism can get you expelled from a course. Also can result in a work being destroyed, or also can result in the expulsion of an academic institution. The problem is that students today are faced not only with increasing pressure and a consequent temptation to plagiarize, but also with the potential to plagiarize being ever more available via the internet. The consequences of plagiarize could seriously endanger your academic career because your record will follow you all your life. Yes, there are several ways to avoid plagiarism in student work or any other papers or writing. With the tools or techniques provided in this video, plagiarism can be avoided very easily. Bueno,